Hi church, Pastor Jeff here with another Trinity check-in. I have something simple but profound to say to you today, and then I want to share something else. So I'm out here at the corner of our church property anyway. You can see the stone sign at the corner of Kentwell and Hidcote here, and you might be able to see 402 Creamery and Scooters if you look closely in the background. But I want to remind you of one of the special things at our church, and that is this chokecherry tree. It was, I believe pretty close to exactly a year ago, we moved this young growing tree to our property, and it belongs to some of the Native American Methodists that are here in Lincoln. We moved it to our property because it needed a place where it could reside more permanently, and so here it sits. Now, I've never been part of moving a tree before. I know that some of you have, but I have to say there was part of me watching it closely this spring to see what would happen, and to see if it would bloom, and to see how healthy it would look. And I have to say, at least to my untrained eyes, it looks great. This is actually my favorite moment in spring every year, when all the trees just begin to bud. And in fact, some of the others around here haven't yet, but this one has. I would encourage you to take a walk over here some Sunday, or if for those of you who live in the neighborhood, walk by and see, because these are just beautiful leaves and buds that you can see growing on this tree. And especially when you add the significance to Native Americans, and you may remember that planting this tree contains the remains of Jay and Barbara Schmidt, so it's also the most poignant type of memorial that it could be, and it is a beautiful thing. It's a reminder of new life, it's a reminder that death is never the end, and it's a reminder of Easter and everything that we proclaim to the world as a church. So how great is it that even if somebody drives by this corner not knowing that particular truth, yet it is there. Yet it is there saying that there is good new life. So, the simple and profound thing that I want to say to you today is enjoy it. This is that time of the year where things are so beautiful outside. You know, just simply noticing the new buds coming up on the tree, or whatever sign of new life is around you, notice it. Let it remind you of Easter, let it remind you of hope, and let it draw you toward it. Now, it's especially appropriate to be out here right now with this particular tree, with its connection to our Lincoln Native American Methodists, because this Sunday is Native American Ministries Sunday in all United Methodist churches. You may know that our bishop now is the first Native American bishop in the United Methodist Church, and he and some of our Native American team put out a video in support of the special Sunday that's coming up this week. When by special Sunday, I mean an offering that is taken all around the country. And so I'm done. I'm going to toss it over to them, and I'd like for you to hear more about it. I hope you are well, church, and I will see you soon. In the meantime, enjoy new life wherever you see it.
Native American Ministries Sunday is upon us. Observed the second Sunday after Easter on April 14, it is one of 6 special Sundays that we observe in the United Methodist Church. Created in 1988, this special Sunday is a denomination-wide celebration designed to raise awareness and remind United Methodists of the gifts and contributions made by Native Americans to our society. I have to say that the people of the Great Plains know much about those gifts and contributions, as we gave the most of any annual conference on this special Sunday. I believe this has been the case for several years. Congratulations and thank you to all of our churches that have recognized this Sunday and collected funds. Funds from this special Sunday help in many ways. We send 25% of what we collect to the General Board of Higher Education and Ministry to provide scholarships to Native American students in seminary and also course of study. I have served on that committee to award scholarships for many years, and it's always a joy to keep up with these candidates as they work towards their degrees. I was honored last year to ordain 22 pastors in the Great Plains Conference at my very first conference in 2023. Among them was Tony Saborczyk. Tony is the first Lakota to be ordained in the Great Plains Annual Conference. He is currently serving at First United Methodist Church at Abilene, Kansas. Tony was a recipient of this award for several years. Let's listen to his story.
When I started seminary nearly 10 years ago, I found tuition to be very costly. Seminary can be difficult to fund. Few Native Americans enter seminary due to the lack of financial resources. Through the Native American Seminary Scholarship Fund, I received $60,000 that covered my cost of tuition and associated fees during the time I was in school. Without such aid, I wouldn't have been able to attend seminary. I am so grateful for this scholarship fund and have become an advocate for such scholarships through the United Methodist Global Board of Higher Education and Ministry. It has helped me turn a dream I have had ever since high school into a reality. As you know, there is still a tremendous shortage of Native American clergy within the United Methodist Church. I urge you to consider giving to this special offering for Native American ministries and help make dreams come true for future Native American clergy.
Our Committee on Native American Ministry has been busy with projects to help educate folk on issues that are important to us, and also events of the past, which are not always pleasant topics. A gap in knowledge exists in the United Methodist Church and congregations and other United Methodist entities relative to understanding Native American life, cultures, language, spirit, values, contemporary issues, and more. In September 2023, the committee hosted a Day of Remembrance, which was designed to hear the story of Native American boarding schools of the past and how they still impact Native folk today. About 150 people gathered at Central United Methodist Church in Lawrence, Kansas, to listen to stories and to gather in solidarity with our Native sisters and brothers. CONAM is planning another event for next September near one of our boarding school sites at Genoa, Nebraska. According to records, there were 8 boarding schools in both Nebraska and Kansas. At least 2 of those were connected to the Methodist Church. Listen to Erica Washi Stanley and Denise Estes as they share their work with this committee.
The Committee on Native American Ministries exists to raise awareness of the contributions of Indigenous peoples within our churches and communities. We want to make sure that our voices are being heard.
CONAM would like to be a resource to all congregations within the conference to shed light on our history and current issues facing Native people. All congregations have the opportunity to get involved. CONAM grants are a great way for all churches to get involved in seeking justice and pursuing the truth about our people and communities.
This grant money can provide congregations materials for book studies from Indigenous authors, Native American guest speakers or musicians for your congregations, and other programs like community gardens and cultural programming.
50% of what we collect from this special Sunday stays in the Great Plains Conference for events such as the Boarding School Remembrance. The committee is working to award funds to special projects that relate to Native Americans. 25% goes to scholarships, and the last 25% goes to fund ministry projects for Native Americans through the General Board of Global Ministries. These projects have ranged from supporting young Native Americans to events such as Youth 23, to funds to create a Native American exhibit in the lower level concourse of the Atlanta airport. I thank you in advance for taking time to observe this Sunday in some manner in your local church. It can be through music, speakers, litanies, and more. When I visited with the clergy and lay people at the United Methodist Church in Coffeyville, I was pleasantly surprised by the youth group. They learned a verse of Cherokee and Choctaw of Amazing Grace. They did a wonderful job, and I was so happy they took time to learn those hymns in honor of myself. Thank you for your great ministry and for recognizing this special Sunday.